All right. Well, welcome to Arista. My name is Jeff Raymond. I'm our Vice President of Product Management and Services here at Arista. I'd like to also welcome not only the folks physically here in our building, but the folks following along live streaming. It's great to be with you. And this is really one of the most fun things that we look forward to here at Arista in terms of Tech Field Day. We participated 2 years ago. We're glad to be back. And we got a great agenda today. So my job is to be very short and sweet to present that agenda and then get on to the real content here. So we're going to start off with our Chief Customer Officer, Anshul Sadana, is going to talk about an Arista overview. And for those of you that might be new to Arista, this would be a good primer. If you already are familiar with us, well, you can get up to speed with our latest stuff here. We're going to have Andy Bechtolsheim, our founder and Chief Development Officer, talk about the 400 gig landscape, look at interconnects, optics, and basically what's going to come on down the pipe in the future from a networking perspective. We're going to talk about EOS and get back to the basics with programmability, the good old-fashioned, probably overused term today, programmability. We're going to have our founder and SVP CTO of our software engineering team, Ken Duda, talk about that. And then we're going to get into some demos. First, we're going to have Ryan Madsen talk about network automation and telemetry based on our CloudVision product. And then we're going to have Russell Kelly come on and talk about routing architecture transformations and some of the demos that we have there with our focus on routing. So with that, my job here is done. I'll turn it over to Anshul to get started.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, and thank you for being a supporter. We are glad to see that you've been with us for several years now, and you are contributing certainly to the success of Arista. Let me jump right in on what is it that we're doing at Arista? What is it that's making us successful? What's helping our customers succeed in their mission as well? First of all, at Arista, you may know us from the past days as the leaf spine designs for data center networking. We've evolved quite a bit since then. Not just data center designs, whether it's underlay, overlay, ECMP, VXLAN, but also doing data center interconnects, what we call the spine interconnect, connecting many data centers or many sites together. Security and monitoring are becoming bigger and bigger for our customers. Every attack brings light back to this topic. And in the old days, it was very easy. You had a pair of firewalls connected to a pair of aggregation switches. You have a VXLAN design, that doesn't really work. You have an ECMP design, that doesn't really work. And we have a solution with macro segmentation that helps solve that security problem, having a cluster of firewalls take over your workload. The next one is IP storage. IP storage is huge. And we understand that a lot of the workloads are moving to the cloud. At the same time, on-prem workloads are not completely going away. And the fiber channel SANs are converging into one network, not via FCOE, but as just IP storage. On the networking side, having deep buffered, lossless switches goes a long way. But Ethernet was best effort, not lossless. We've done work on our 7280 platforms to help solve that problem. When you look at networking and you look at the evolution of switches, Arista has been a big proponent of using switches as routers. That brings us into the spine routing use case. In infrastructure, not just networking, when you have a pair of something and you want to scale, you buy bigger and bigger, at some point that breaks. Then you go distribute it. That's what ECMP does. That's what we're doing with our products, building these spines as the next router platform for service providers and other companies. Related to that, we have content. As you may know, Netflix and Spotify are good customers of Arista. We are in many of their peering locations with the full internet routing table on our devices, peering with other providers. And that content is truly king today, but that content is driving a lot of bandwidth and a lot of build-outs, which Arista is succeeding in as well. All of this with one operating system, EOS. The same image, the same binary on all these products. Very recently, we announced something new in data center networking. This is for our cloud customers. We now support 128-way ECMP with 150 terabits per switch. That's a 15,000 terabit spine. This allows some of our cloud customers to carry more than 1 million servers in one cluster. We're involved in some of the largest data center build-outs in the world right now. And the good news is the exact same technology, downsized to a 4-way ECMP, works for our financial and enterprise customers as well. So we believe in building big, and then downsizing is a lot easier. You cannot do it the other way around and get high quality and high resiliency. Along with our 7500 R2 series, the Jericho Plus products we announced earlier this year, we've increased the routing scale, we've increased ACL scale with Algo Match, and we've accelerated S-Flow to a very significant extent, where many of our customers now can use S-Flow the way they want to for DDoS and security mitigation that otherwise was just not possible. At 100 gig speeds, a 1 in 100,000 sample is just not good enough. We can now do 1 in 1,000, which is significant. We are involved in many of these cloud projects, and we get to see something that is happening in the front of our eyes. It's very unique. The internet is getting restitched as we speak. Everything that we see is about the enterprise or the consumer from a home or from a wireless network, LTE going to 5G, trying to reach the cloud or the content. And this has been a key focus for Arista. We've evolved from here to a few other interesting projects as well, like media and entertainment space. We do a lot of work there. But this is essentially what's driving infrastructure forward, and we use these building blocks across all of our customers now. One of these building blocks that has evolved is the universal spine. This is no longer just connecting a leaf of switches. This could also be a spine connecting the leaves. The leaf happens to be a data center. And some of these have already been built out at a very, very large scale. Some of our customers have about 3,000 terabits of interconnect between data centers. Some of our service provider customers are using a smaller footprint, using pizza boxes, the 7280, to achieve the same goal. So you could now replace legacy routing in a very big way with these ECMP networks. And you still have the legacy going to internet, but a lot of the DCI traffic is certainly evolving very, very fast. Talking about DCI, there's been a lot of evolution in two technologies going merchant. You saw merchant silicon bring a wave of innovation and agility to switching. It's impacting routing. And now we're seeing the same thing on DWDM, coherent optics, and ports coming together with Ethernet, and MacSec as an encryption technology becoming commodity. So a lot of the links that leave a facility are now encrypted with 256-bit MacSec. And this isn't a significant penalty on cost or performance. It's wire speed, but even cost is quite affordable because the cloud is building it out at massive scales. That gets the economies of scale to all of our customers as well. Andy will cover some of this in the optical piece as well, but at a very high level, QSFP 100 gig can now go 70 kilometers on pretty much all standard fiber, up to 100 kilometers on engineered links. You don't need any CFP2 or anything like that. That's a big saving for them with the DCI links and so on. But if you want to go longer distance, whether it's 2,000 kilometers or up to 5,000 kilometers, we have that technology as well built into our products. As a result of all of this, our market share has continued to grow. We do have the #2 market share globally in high-speed Ethernet switching in the data center segment. This is as of end of 2016. First half 2017 numbers are just about to be released, and we're doing well. We're growing our market share already this year as well. Obviously, this shows it against our biggest competitor that we have been gaining market share from. Now, a lot of this is driven by our platform, our software, and how we support our customers. On the platform side, we have a chipset choice that is unmatched in the industry. We support up to 12 different silicon families today. If there's a good merchant silicon chip, we will likely use it in this space. So we already had the Fulcrum chipset, all of the Broadcom Dune chipset, the Trident, the Tomahawk lines. Tomahawk 2 is just about to be shipping as well, and the XP80 from Cavium, which is on the 7160. We've abstracted out the driver layer. So it is the rest of the code. The BGP code we have is identical no matter which platform you use it on. And the way to know that is that any bug you see on one platform will also exist on the other platform. So you know that it truly is the same code. Ken will tell you how we avoid bugs, but this portability is huge, not just for us, but also our customers, because the same qualification, same release, same image will work across every use case they have in the data center as well. We've been building on top of that. The automation pieces with Cloud Vision, OpenConfig, and the API work we've been doing. The analytics layer that Ryan will show you today, as well as our focus on connecting workloads to any cloud. That is essentially the push going forward and is helping quite a bit in the enterprise space as well for our customers. On the platform side, we continue to lead with essentially 2 types of leaf switches and 2 types of spine or spline switches. On the leaf, we have Trident or Tomahawk. This is sort of viewed as commodity or high volume products used by the cloud. There are other products like the 7160, which is more programmable, has some unique cases, VXLAN and monitoring as well and so on, as well as the 7280, which is our debug buffered top-of-rack switches or routers that provide essentially a very good combination of 1 RU, 2 RU density with every function, feature, use case you can imagine. They are more expensive, but in many cases, it's a significant cost saving when the customer can go to IP storage with this rather than on fiber channel SAN. The 7500R continues to remain our lead platform. The 7300, which is using Trident and Tomahawk chipsets and a class inside a switch, is great for sort of low utilization networks as well. The 7500 evolution is quite close to my heart. We introduced the 7500 in 2010, and that's exactly when we had our first kid. Ivania was born right around that time. The 7500E was introduced in 2013, and Vivan was born right around that time. So I told my wife about Moore's Law and how every 2 years we need something different, and her response was, you can keep Moore's Law to yourself. While we could do that at our home, and we have only 2 kids, we're quite happy. Andy was not happy with that, so we did evolve the 7500, and we did go to the 7500R in 2016, and now in 2017, the R2 series, which has increased our 100 gig scale with a 16 slot chassis. So it's a really large switch, but works well for many, many sites. And it improves the routing scale. Merchant Silicon can now do more than 2 million routes on chip without needing external DCAMs and so on. That's a very significant change. The ability to absorb internet routing tables on chip routing tables is huge. The other thing we've been doing along with this is EOS. The software architecture in the industry has continued to evolve, and to a great extent, Arista has been pushing the envelope on this. The world used to have these blobs or monolithic operating systems. The world moved to modular. We brought in the Linux-based operating systems with RPMs and our database. And now with containerized EOS, we're able to take our customers' automation tools that were developed for servers and deploy them as container packages onto our switches as well. On the routing scale, when you see the curve we managed to deliver on, this has changed the dynamics of routing completely. And today, many of our cloud customers tell us, I'm done buying expensive router ports. I'm going to use my switches as routers, and this applies at all scales. And while you look at modular switches or routers as one dimension, when you go ECMP, 4-way ECMP at least, you no longer need dual supervisor and redundancy everywhere. So you can use the pizza boxes, the 7280s, in the same use case. Significantly lowers the cost structure for these customers as well for anything that they're doing. On the automation side, we have not slowed down. And in fact, everything we learn with our large-scale deployments in the cloud, we try to apply that to our high-tech enterprise customers, because they would like to achieve the same goals with fewer people. And in the past, this was a lot of slideware and sort of hand-waving on TCO savings. And many CIOs have told us that TCO savings look great on paper. In the end, there's no saving. You always end up paying more. SDN, the first wave of SDN was exactly that. You ended up paying more. We have now delivered to many of our customers data centers. We have one large customer that has more than 12 data centers globally. And in the legacy days, just 5 years ago, they would have about 400 plus people to manage this operation. On the Arista side, they have less than 20 people assigned for this entire operation. And this is sizable, almost equal size deployment to what they have in legacy. This is courtesy Cloud Vision, the easy button for simple things, configuration management and automation. You'll hear more from Ryan as well. Managing change controls, managing how you integrate with other overlay services. That integration link is expensive, and we managed to simplify that as well. On the direction with EOS, we are continuing to deliver more features. Routing and switching, there's more to do. IP peering, more scale, more convergence features, VRF and multicast and so on. Network virtualization, using VXLAN for layer 2 and layer 3 VPNs is starting to evolve in a big way. It is a lot simpler. And customers who have greenfield are going that route. When you have brownfield, we still need to do MPLS for those situations. OVSDB is scaling, including with ACL scale. Cloud Vision, we're doing more to get to the next set of features that need to be automated. Not just a simple sort of layer 2 network going into leaf spine, but also the VRF scale, rollbacks and integration with firewalls and analytics. On the resiliency side, we have in the past shown you how we do hitless upgrades, and we continue to do that. We've evolved that now where the spines essentially are upgraded without dropping traffic, and we're adding more features to that, including support for VXLAN and OSPF and so on. In the past, it was largely BGP. Now we've added support for OSPF as well for hitless upgrades. MPLS, a lot of work going on in segment routing space. This used to be a pet project just for the top cloud customers. Now, service provider customers are getting there, and some of the high-tech enterprises, big financials are getting there as well, requiring features over here. On tap aggregation or monitoring of a network, the same product set, by the way, is used for the monitoring network as well. And we've added a lot more support for header stripping, different types of VXLAN header stripping, MPLS, traffic steering, steering all the right flows to the right tools, and so on. Lots of APIs. Let me talk about one last topic, which is world-class support. A lot of our customers, or prospective customers, look at Arista and they say, great technology. They know the team. Typically, they've heard of Andy or Jayshree or Ken. Then they stand back and say, but can you support us? And this is a topic that doesn't get evaluated in all sincerity like you do a product evaluation. This is a topic about confidence or a gut feel that you get. So I want to shed some light on how Arista delivers this support. Today, we are a 24/7 organization. We have tax centers in the US on the East Coast, on the West Coast, in Dublin, and in Bangalore in India. We have more than 130 RMA locations with over 25,000 parts today worldwide. But more importantly, there's no outsourcing of TAC. There's no level 1, level 2, level 3 TAC. There's one TAC. And the TAC engineer is empowered to pick up the phone and call up anyone in the company and say, I need help. They don't need approval from a manager to escalate. And the software team, with the support from Ken, Hugh, Adam, and the rest of the team, the software engineers step up and help the customer as needed. No one says that I can't help you because I have a release to deliver. They will just go ahead and help. That culture within the organization has gone a long way in supporting our customers. And as a result of that, our customers often come and tell us that our support is something that reminds them of what the industry used to have maybe in the early 90s, or something they haven't seen for the last 15, 20 years. We're quite committed to delivering that. Some metrics to share. Our response times are really, really good. If you call Arista support on the phone, no matter what time of the day, you will get a person, level 3 TAC engineer, answer in less than 20 seconds. The person is not going to waste time trying to 6 hours of entitlement checks. They will just go solve your problem, which matters quite a bit in these situations. We also don't push our TAC team on metrics like mean time to resolution. Instead, we make them focus just on customer sat. It's okay if a TAC case is open for 2 months or 3 months, because often you're waiting for the customer to make sure the problem is resolved. But we do track if it's pending with the customer and so on. So very few cases are waiting for a customer. Very few cases are untouched. We keep it rolling. But as a result of that, have a great support infrastructure already in place. And you can see that as part of our success as well. So with that, thank you very much.